And in a show of unity, the leaders of France, Germany, United Kingdom are all urging Iran to return to the negotiating table and avoid actions that could escalate tensions here. In a post shared on X, Germany's chancellor posted a photo of him on the phone with the leaders of France and the United Kingdom discussing what they can do to de-escalate the tensions. Our Ines de La Cuetara joins me now with more. And Ines, what is the general reaction around the world to the U.S. strikes on Iran? I'm sure everybody was holding their collective breath.
Yeah, that's right, Phil. I mean, lots of questions now as to what happens next. We know the UN Security this evening, the UN Security Council was holding an emergency meeting. It's been interesting to look at the reaction coming from the U.S.'s allies. So there are divisions that do appear to be emerging within the EU, for example. The UK's Prime Minister Keir Starmer, he seemed to express support for the strike, while France doesn't appear to be as supportive. You had France's Foreign Minister Jean-Noël Barrot saying that France had taken note with great concern of the U.S. strikes. But France went on to stress that it hadn't participated in the strikes or that it hadn't participated in their planning. The EU as a whole is calling for both parties to get back to the negotiating table, but worth pointing out that Iran has been arguing that it had been negotiating. It was in Geneva just this past Friday, meeting with top EU diplomats.
China and other countries have condemned the U.S. for these strikes. That was, anticipated. Could we see other countries get more involved?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Iran's allies do here. But for now, Iran does appear to be largely isolated. So the Iranian foreign minister, we know, is expected to meet with the Russians tomorrow. But so far, Russia hasn't really come to Iran's defense. I mean, they largely appear to be washing their hands of this. And when it comes to Iran's proxies, they've, of course, been, largely weakened over the course of the last year. When you think about the Houthis, about Hezbollah, Hezbollah took hours to put out a statement today. They have otherwise been largely silent. The Houthis, though, are once again threatening to target U.S. ships in the Red Sea.
And Ines, you have some reporting about the skepticism regarding damage at Fordo, which is one of the three sites. It's the biggest. It's that mountain site, like 250 feet down, I think, or something like that. What more do you know about it?
That's right. Yeah. So I spoke to a high-level European ballistics expert, and he tells me that looking at the calculated estimated performances of the GBU-57, which is the bunker buster bomb that they used here, he says it seems highly unlikely that the bombs would actually have detonated in close vicinity to the underground structure. He says his team has run the calculations, and they have concluded the GBU-57 cannot penetrate more than 20 meters underground in solid rock, and we do believe that Fordo was built in solid rock. We believe Fordo sits at 80 to 90 meters. So this expert says he doesn't believe that the bunker buster bombs would actually have reached the uranium enrichment facility there. It's obviously difficult to assess how much damage may have been caused by the shockwave, but this expert says that if the underground facility was designed properly, then he can't imagine that a lot of damage was done. So we saw President Trump, of course, in the immediate aftermath of these attacks, declaring victory and saying that the U.S. had completely obliterated Iran's nuclear program. There are those, though, pointing to the fact that the Pentagon has said that it would take, some time before we get the final battle assessment. So some people are saying, we need to wait for that. And if it may be that Trump may have declared victory prematurely, that it wouldn't be the first time, but we'll just have to wait for that final battle assessment.
Yeah, I mean, that certainly may be his hope, but you're right. The final battle assessment will tell the tale. Ines de La Cuetara, thank you.